We've been a leader in banking for more than 100 years. You'll find us here, at home, on your phone, and everywhere you go. Renaissance Bank. Understanding you. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Sponsored by Renaissance Bank.
Good morning and welcome to Daily Journal Newsbreak, sponsored by Renaissance Bank. Today's Thursday, August 9th, and I'm your host, Elizabeth Walters. We're going to take a look at today's top news and sports stories across Northeast Mississippi, but first, let's start with your weather forecast. Today we'll have scattered thunderstorms and a high of 83. Tonight's low will be around 72. And for the next 3 days, on Friday, we'll have sunny skies with a high of 89 and a low of 69. Saturday will be partly cloudy with a high of 93 and a low of 72. And Sunday, we'll have partly cloudy skies with a high of 90 and a low of 70. Now let's take a look at today's top headlines. The Tupelo City Council rescinded a decision to award a project contract, which will delay improvements to a pair of high-volume intersections for months. The contract was originally awarded to Paul Smithy Construction for work involving the intersection of McCullough Boulevard and Coley Road and West Jackson Street. Since selecting Paul Smithy Construction, Mayor Jason Shelton's administration has learned that they do not possess needed credentials. Particularly, the Certificate of Responsibility does not cover the type of work entailed by the project. COO Don Lewis told the Journal that the problem with the certificate was discovered after a competitor raised the issue. Smithy has performed other work for Tupelo and was one of 4 bidders seeking to win the project. The next to lowest bid was more than $60,000 higher than Smithy's. The delay will push the beginning of the Major Thoroughfare Program until later in the fall. And revenue collections are off to a good start for the 2019 fiscal year. Collections were at $9.7 million, or 2.5% over the amount collected during July of last year, and 3.2% above the official estimate. If the revenue does not meet the official estimate, the governor is forced to make budget cuts or call the legislature into special session to make cuts. Our media partners at Mississippi Today report that one indicator for the state's improving economy is that the state sales tax and personal income tax collections are both strong. Corporate tax collections remain down almost 25%, while the tax on casinos was up about 5%. Officials hope to see a bump in the casino taxes now that sports betting is allowed in the state. And you can read more about this on djournal.com. And as students started school in Tupelo on Wednesday, a group of retired teachers, city employees, and volunteers visited schools to give out high fives and offer support. This program started small last school year with only 2 fathers showing up and has since grown to include community members from the fire department, police department, and city government. Real Men Stand Up began giving out high fives to kids after major testing days last year, and now the city of Tupelo is involved. Tupelo High Principal Art Hobbs said it's a great way to kick off the year and welcome students back. And in sports, a longtime middle school coach will be honored tonight during the Tupelo Football Boosters kickoff dinner. Mickey Linder coached both basketball and football for the Golden Wave for 28 years and was inducted into the Mississippi Association of Coaches Hall of Fame in 2014. Linder had a record of 190, 15-2 as a 9th grade football coach at Carver with 15 undefeated seasons. And on the basketball court, his 7th and 8th grade boys teams had a combined 426-30 record with 11 unbeaten seasons. Tonight's dinner is at 6 o'clock at the Summit Center. And that does it for Newsbreak on this Thursday. Don't forget that this show is just one of the many online offerings courtesy of the Daily Journal that gets you news off the page and on the go. And be sure to check out a new episode of the Prep Rally podcast. Hosts Brad Locke and Dalton Middleton preview football jamborees this weekend and why some coaches find it more useful to not play one. You can listen in Apple Podcast, Google Play, or at preprally.djournal.com. Each story discussed today on Newsbreak can be found in your Daily Journal and online at djournal.com, where you can also find a new episode of Newsbreak each weekday morning. Thanks for joining us. I'm Elizabeth Walters. Have a great afternoon.